Okay, so Kaiju number 8. This is a series that I wanted to start for a very long time. When I was reading Chainsaw Man, the manga, I would always see Kaiju number 8 pop up in the panel, and the picture, like the poster that they use, like the Kaiju number 8 poster, it was so fire. I just like the design of the kaiju, especially Kafka, the main characters of kaiju, and I always wanted to watch it, but I never really had the time. Well, I did at the time, but I was just neglecting my time. But I finally recently watched it. I said I was only gonna watch 6 episodes and do a breakdown of half of it and then finish it, but no, I had to watch the whole 12 episodes. It was just fire back to back to back. And still, as much as I love the design of Kaiju number 8, I still gotta give the best Kaiju go to my guy Godzilla, bro. Did you ever see that fucking flying kick? That shit was spectacular. There's no better move that a kaiju can pull off other than that. But kaiju number 8, it starts off with Kafka. However, that's how you say your name, Kafka, I think. Bino, I can't pronounce these names very well. But when I first my first introduction to him, I somewhat liked him, but I didn't like him because he was always glazing everybody, and like, yeah, he's 32, but he was just such a loser in my opinion. And no, excuse me, in my opinion, he just seemed like such a loser. But the only part that I really did like about him was his hard work. That no matter what, like he was always cleaning shit. Like even when his boss was telling him to do shit he wouldn't want to do, he'll still do it, and just so that it could put the stress relief off his boss and help out and stuff like that. And everybody around him loved him, and he wasn't. I did find him somewhat funny, but it was much more I was laughing at him instead of like with him. But then he just got better fast throughout the series. It was only 12 episodes, but he got better fast throughout the series, very fast. And he meets I'm gonna just call him by his nickname Reno. Ichiwa is his real name, but Reno, he applies at the same job Kafka is doing, and they're cleaning the rest of the kaiju remains after a kaiju is destroyed by the defense force, which is the captain of the defense force is Kafka's old best friend Mina, and they were supposed to make it together, but Kafka failed the exams every time, like about 12 times, and he wasn't able to redo it because you could only the recruits could only be young, and he was 32 at the time until they removed the age limit up to 32. Lucky for him, right? So he was able to get another chance, and Reno kind of encouraged him to get another chance and Reno, I thought I wasn't gonna like him at first because the way like he was just talking Kafka about like failing and shit, but I like how he had the ambition. He even helped Kafka like pursue the dream of going back into the division first division officers, and Kafka barely makes it. Reno does it real good, and this is one thing I like about the story so far. The characters around what's it called, Reno and Kafka. You can't say Mina. Yeah, you could say she's somewhat of a main character. Oh shit, my bad. So I guess you could say she's somewhat of a main character, but Shino Maya, she is a fucking stud, bro. When she literally her introduction of her with the power suit, you find out that the whole director of the whole officer committee shit is her father, and he has very high expectations for her, so she really exceeds in like everything she does. In the recruitment class, she's top of the class. Nobody can stop her, to the point where she was even given a special fucking weapon, which is pretty badass. And she ends up showing off Kafka, and she notices how strong he is because he lifts up the company car after she tosses it. She threw that shit down. I didn't think she was gonna be able to do that, but she has a suit that gives her like power, like special abilities and shit. But don't get me wrong, it's not the suit that makes her completely cold. She is cold on her own, but yeah, her and the other guys, don't really know. I can't really pronounce the name. Lauren with the freaking mohawk. There's that one dude. He seems like a stoner, but he's a chill guy. There's that one dude that kind of looks like he's on steroids. I'm not gonna lie. The other two girls, I really didn't care for them that much. The other guys too, but at least they had some substance. But the other girls, not really. But overall, when they're all together, it actually is a very nice dynamic between the group. And Mina, as her being the captain, she has a vice captain named, his name is Hoshina. Now, why his mama gonna name him Hoshina? Like, they tried that, but he just works with blades instead of guns, and that's his specialty. And everybody, like, throughout his life was like making fun of, like, telling him that he wasn't gonna be nothing special because all he does is use blades, and you can't use a blade to fight kaiju because you got to get close and shit. Yeah, kaiju, my bad, I mispronounced that, but yeah, you can't. And that's why Mina, the head captain, she looked at Hoshina, bro, that name, Hoshina, because she isn't so good with blades, and why not? Why try to find somebody as good as you with guns when you're already top of your class, when you can find the best expert at blades? And I feel like she did make a right choice by doing that. But back to the story of Kafka, that was just a little introduction with the characters. Back to the story of Kafka. So there's an incident where him and they're cleaning, and a kaiju appears and it's attacking the city. And instead of Kafka running with Reno, he tries to protect them and with a pipe, which is fucking outrageous, and he just gets his ass completely demolished. And but Reno comes back, and he already called help, and they just try to save each other before they both get slaughtered. Amina comes to the rescue and saves them with her fucking cool ass tiger. And when they're in the hospital, they're talking, and they have a blind that's covering both of them, covering Reno and Kafka. And as they're they're talking and shooting the shits, a weird, well, I could say probably symbiote, not really symbiote, but a parasite comes and it latches itself onto Kafka and it goes inside his mouth, which transforms him into a kaiju. And he doesn't know how powerful he is as a kaiju. And once the transformation happens, an old man comes by and he sees that, and he pretty much calls a defense officers to come because there's a kaiju in the fucking hospital, and Kafka's just breaking shit because he doesn't know how strong he is. So then they scram out of there, and he is known as the first kaiju to get away, and they name him as Kaiju number 8. And that's when he realizes, oh shit, he can actually transform and detransform as a kaiju. So when he goes to the whole defense of training, him and Reno, they actually, Reno does good. Kafka is trash. He could only produce a power level of 0 at the time, and you have to be able to only produce a power level of 1 to pass. Pretty easy, everyone can do it. Reno got a 33 power level, and Kafka's sitting at 0. He barely squeezes it as a 0.1, and he wasn't going to make it until Hoshina added him into his division because he thought Kafka was funny. And on their first mission, it's crazy because they run into some other guy who ends up working at the job that Kafka and Reno was working at, of cleaning the kaiju remains, and he's actually a false kaiju that just steals bodies, but he can talk and everything on his own, but he's not a human at all. I think he's just fully gone, because later we're going to talk about losing yourself inside a kaiju. But with this kaiju they call Kaiju number 9, he runs into Shimamiya. We're gonna call Maya. Mia. There's Mina and then there's Shimamiya Maya. I can't really pronounce it, but he ran into her first during a training when they had the training before, and she was getting obliterated by Kaiju number 9, but nobody else saw him except her. But she kind of warned Kafka and Reino about it, so Reino was somewhat able to dodge Kaiju number 9's attack for some time, but later it proved that Kaiju number 9 wasn't even trying. So Kaiju number 9 has Reino and Loharin, I can't fucking say his name, the dude with the red mohawk, injured and like down for the count. He was getting ready to lights out them boys. That's till Kafka, when Kafka can realize where, well, he could signal pretty much where any kaiju is, because he himself is a kaiju. So he finds Kaiju number 9 and fucking lights his top off. And it's just bleeding the fuck out of him. And you figure out that Kafka's kaiju is like one of the strongest fucking kaijus, like without even trying, because Kafka don't know what the fuck he's doing. So number 9 escapes, and you know, that's when the defense officers, they find Kafka still in his kaiju form, and then they report it, and Hoshina, who is good at killing like smaller kaijus, like Kafka's size, he finds Kafka still in his kaiju's form, which is like, he's dumb as fuck. Like, you just got away, de-transform ASAP, but no, motherfucker wants to stay in his form. And then Hoshino finds him and almost kills his ass, but doesn't really do it because he can't realize why the fuck this kaiju's not fighting back, and he fights like a human. But after that, time passes, and Mina has to go do a report somewhere, and then here enters Kaiju number 10. And I say his design's so fucking cool. He has like a whole bunch of these like death birds that fucking self-destruct, and him and Hoshino have an epic ass fight. And the thing about that fight, he shot some blasts at Hoshino, which Hoshino dodged at the last minute, and he said, "Good, you passed." And he just went straight to boxing that nigga, and they were bumping. And that motherfucker was talking about, "Oh hell yeah, you strong. We should be rivals." I was like, yo, my guy was Kaiju number 9 was coked up. He was coked up as fuck. No, he just couldn't stop fighting. Like, every time he was losing, nah, bro, nah, this is it. And it had me fucking rolling every moment. But no, Kaiju number 10, his design was amazing. I really like Kaiju number 9, and I mean Kaiju number 10. But it took everybody just to defeat Kaiju number 10. Hoshino was slicing them up, leaving openings for Shinomaya, and that left the opening for Mina, which to destroy kaiju, you gotta slice them up or destroy them to the point where you can see their core, which is like a rainbowy color. And then once you destroy their core, they're fully gone. And fucking Mina had a big ass rocket launcher, bazooka launcher, and she was just hitting the nigga from distance. And they used a team effort, but he had a last plan, which it was self-destruct. So he did a big ass ball. He had a big ass ball, the self-destructing birds that he had. So he was just gonna make it a stalemate, just wipe everybody else with him. But that's when Kafka realized, he's like, everybody during this fight was like, they worked so hard to save everyone, and I didn't do nothing. So it's low-key my chance to save everyone, because the blast was about to take the whole, like, you might not know, but the blast was about to take out the whole defense squad, the officers out. Like, nobody was getting out that bitch. There was nowhere to run. Nobody had a plan. They were just looking at death in the sky. But Kafka, he was like, this is the only way. The only way he was able to save them, he had to expose himself as a kaiju. So he went full kaiju, and he knocked that motherfucker in the atmosphere. He knocked that motherfucking grenade in the atmosphere, which saved everyone. It caused a lot of damage, but not everybody was pretty much saved. And doing so, exposing himself, you know, the director, which is Shinomaya's father, spoiler, which is Shinomiya's father is the director who oversees everything with the defense officers in the council. He's the head of the council. So he brings Kafka in and to see if he's a kaiju or a human. And so they start boxing, right? And he starts beating the fuck out of Kafka. Because, Kafka don't want to fight. He's trying to prove that he's a human. And Shinomiya is, she's telling her dad that, hey, man, like, let him go. Like, he can prove it to you he's a human. But the kaiju within Kafka was getting pissed the fuck off. And he was just getting mad, and he was just upgrading as time went, and he turned into a full-fledged kaiju, which design was so fucking epic. But he kind of lost himself at that moment, and he was actually about to kill Shinomiya's father. But at the end, he actually just ripped out his heart. He destroyed his core, so he wouldn't have to do that. So the father could actually realize, yo, he does have some humans inside of him. Pause. But it was really good how it ending for the 12th episode. It went out with a bang, and I really liked that Kafka was able to prove to everybody else that he is not a complete threat and that he would be able to help as the number of kaijus keep stacking up. But the most intriguing part of the whole story is Kaiju number 9 is still at large, and he's just plotting. And I love the way as a villain, I love the way he just moves around and how he just talks shit to everybody, and he's just so devious. It's really cool, and I'm really looking forward to how the series goes. I'm thinking about just starting a manga, because like I was looking at the manga the whole time. Every time I was reading Chainsaw Man, I was like, bro, should I start this, bro? The fucking design of Kaiju number 8 is so clean. Like, the creator, the artist, 2 thumbs up. I give you that. Like, that is a kaiju. Like, they didn't even make a movie out of that kaiju, like, honestly. But they're gonna probably fuck it up. But, who knows? He needs to fight Godzilla or something. But no, Kaiju number 8 is a great series. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you check it out. I was actually pretty blown away. I had my expectations set up here, but it kind of went like right here. That's where it hit me. But that's just been the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Like, share, please comment. I'd like to hear your feedbacks. And if you watched Kaiju number 8, let me know what you thought about it. And that's been the video. Yeah.